How we're doing? This is the Top 20% Podcast, a show for ambitious SaaS sales professionals. This is episode 5. Let's get started. How are we doing, everyone? This is your host, Ian Agard. The host of the podcast you listen to is the Top 20% Podcast, a show for ambitious SaaS sales professionals where you learn actionable tips and strategies in order to be a top 20% revenue earner in your company. This is episode 5. I'm very excited. This is a special episode. I did it, y'all. I launched my ebook. And this episode is called How to Hit Your Sales Quota Consistently in 60 days or less, the Ebook Launch. If you've been following my podcast, you know that I've been writing an ebook. I want to be able to share my thoughts, my pain, my experience with people, especially in the area of hitting quota. My current role now, I'm a SaaS sales professional at a SaaS company downtown Toronto. I do the full sales cycle. I'm an account representative. It means I cold call, I discovery, I demo, and I ask for the business, and I close the sale and do the follow-up. And my first 6 months of that job was not easy. But once I got to learn what strategies and mindsets it takes to hit quota, I was able to repeat that, make it repeatable, consistent. And that's why I wrote that book, because I know how painful it can be. I want to share this knowledge with people. So today what I'm going to do is a little different. I'm going to just kind of read a little chapter from the book. There's basically 3 principles in this book that I wrote. And one of the principles in the book that kind of help you to hit your sales quota consistently in 60 days or less is develop your character. So I'll be reading kind of some kind of paragraphs here and there. I'll chime in, and hopefully it'll be of value to you. So I'm going to start off with a quote that I have in the book. It says, "Character is something you are born with." So character isn't something you are born with and can't change. Like a fingerprint, it's something you weren't born with and must take responsibility for forming. Now, you can learn all the best sales training methods like the spin selling, to the Sandler system, to the challenger sale, or you can memorize, several different closing techniques from the assumptive close to the takeaway close. You can even become an expert in how well your product or service is compared to your competitors. However, it's your character as a person and how well your prospective customers trust, like, and respect you that will determine the altitude and the longitude of your successful career in sales. In the book also, I talk about 7 skills that can't be taught. It's more internal stuff, character stuff. Stuff like curiosity, integrity, drive, problem solving, resilience, self-awareness, and emotional awareness. Now, 2 of the skills that I found that are most impactful as far as character skills, character traits you can build in yourself, there's 2 that will really skyrocket you to be a top 20% status of a salesperson is integrity and resilience. Now, integrity, it's about establishing trust. I think establishing trust is the most important element in successful selling. Now, without trust, how can your customers believe that you can deliver on the promise of low price, the best features, quality, or performance? So regardless of the industry or the product that you provide, the goal of every top revenue generating sales rep is to be viewed as a trusted advisor in the eyes of your customers and your prospects. So basically there's trust and there's advice. So working on the trust part. See, this golden stamp of approval can only be earned through acting consistently with high integrity within every interaction and decision that relates to your current and future customers. So once you establish trust, though, it's important to maintain that, and that's the key. So, you might be thinking, okay, well, how do we establish trust? How do we build integrity as far as the eyes of the customer? Well, from the book I'm reading, there's basically 5 ways you can do that. One is always tell the truth no matter what. 2 is never promise something you can't deliver. There's a saying, under promise, over deliver. 3 is always stand by your word. If you say something, do it, stand by it. Don't flip-flop and say, I said that's better, then change your mind. 4, always admit when you've made a mistake. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Your customer's not perfect. It's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. You might quote them the wrong price or say something or do something that's what wasn't right. But as long as you admit it, that's how you can build trust. Because a lot of people, I'm sure your competitors and other people, or weak salespeople, want to hide behind their mistakes and blame everybody else but themselves. Also, the 5th way to kind of build trust and integrity and develop that and maintain it is always make decisions that put your customer's interest first. This is huge. A lot of times we make decisions on how we can best hit quota, or best get a sale, or best get an award for getting the biggest sale by the end of the week or end of the month or end of the day. And that's greedy. That's selfish. I've been there. I know how it is. But I encourage you. It's tough. But if you want to be a top 20% consistent long-term revenue earner for your company in sales, always make decisions that put your customers' interests first. So that's basically it. I'm reading much about the book. In the show notes, in the description of this podcast, there'll be a link. On that link, you click it. It's going to take you to a page. That's where you can be able to purchase the ebook. It's only $5. It's packed with value. And I truly, honestly believe that it can be a great investment for you, especially if you're struggling to hit quota or to do it consistently. This book will give you the tools and the strategies to do it. It's a very easy read, and it's packed with actionable advice that you can apply right away. If you do it consistently over 60 days, then with the mindset that's in the book, I'm confident you'll be able to hit quota and do it consistently. So that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this episode 5, how to hit your sales quota consistently in 60 days or less. I'm your host, Ian Agard. Hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, look in the show notes. There'll be a link to the page where you can buy the ebook. Also, my email's there. If you have any questions, hit me up. If not, that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap this up. Have yourself a blessed day. I'll see you soon.